Today's 1060th dating. I'm here to lessons to learn. I'm learning. I'll help you to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, I speak about a very deep topic, and that is self-love. Self-love. Do I understand it fully? Not. But do I want to learn it? Yes, for sure. And that's why I really go and try to understand more and more and more. Now, we understand surface level self-love. Nurture yourself, help boundaries, create boundaries, self-care. Now, all those things are important. Those are steps to really making sure that you have that self-love. But today, I really want to focus on deeper levels of understanding what self-love truly means. Now, when the thing about love, we understand that we're able to have different kind of loves. We're able to have a love for a flower. We're able to have stronger love. We're able to love our neighbor. Then we're able to love our friends. Then we can have even stronger loves to our family members, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, like everyone, our loved ones. Be able to really love our faith and have the number one on. But I think that the core of love is still self-love. Because if you really have a massive self-love, that means you will be better in faith, you will be better for your parents, you will be better for your husband or wife, you'll be able to be better for everyone around you. Everything starts from the core, from the essence of self-love. I truly believe that. I truly believe that if you really want to be the best in everything, you need to have self-love. Because when you love someone, when you love somebody, you're able to nurture it. And that's where a lot of times people neglect themselves and they say, why do you neglect themselves? And a lot of times it's that they hate themselves or they don't love themselves. And we need to understand that the first level to work for is understand that we need to start liking ourselves and start loving ourselves. I need to understand the deeper levels of where that love is coming from. Because a lot of times we do not love ourselves because we attach our love to ourselves based on external results or external validations of the things that we need to have to really feel accomplished. Because I think that sometimes we need to really understand that self-love comes from within. We're not able to achieve anything externally to validate our own inner love. Self-love. Self-love. I think that it's a challenge. I think this is all life. We need to really work on nurturing ourselves, and some people are able to love themselves better. Some people are worse, but I think that every single person needs to learn how to self love even more and more and more. And today, I really speak even more just to understand, okay, what kind of things we need to understand to make sure that we're able to love ourselves better. I think that the first thing we need to understand that love really transcends the ego. Because a lot of times we say that who you are, and when we hear the question who you are, a lot of times we say that we put our name, we say like what do we do, maybe say our passions. We a lot of times explain what we have, what we do, and we forget that the most important part for self love is who we are, is in essence. So it is being able to really go through all the layers that is not important. I think that's one of the biggest parts that we really need to understand, that when we really care about self-love, we need to understand that when you pass away, what stays with you? What stays with you when you pass away? I think that's when you understand what things you will be able to keep. Those are things are important for self-love. So what are you able to keep? You're able to keep your legacy, you're able to keep your character, you're able to keep all the character traits that you brought through the life. And I think it's very, very important to understand that's where the self-love is coming from. We need to really understand that self-love is nurtured from the things that you're able to transcend. All the things and other things that name your weight, your achievements, your results, your affairs, mistakes, those are not relevant when you think about self-love. Those are just things to consider for other things, liking yourself, because sometimes we're able to love ourselves, but we not like ourselves. And that's totally fine, because we need to understand that every single person needs to improve, get better. And that means that we love ourselves, but we need to just understand, okay, I don't like this part about myself. I'm able to nurture it and fix it or get improved, because we always are full. We always are able to be loved by ourselves, But this is the most important part. We're able to love ourselves all the time, but sometimes we say, I don't like this part about myself, but I don't like, but I'm willing to really grow, improve, and change. Number two is radical embrace of holiness. And that means that when you think about that, a lot of times we don't want to really look in our shadow parts or parts that we do not like. So that means that it could be a character trait that we have a look. And if we do not want to accept them, want to look at them and deny it, so a lot of times we look into the bigger, the better picture of us, or we looking into the half picture of us. Say, this is who I am. But I think that when we're able to integrate a whole picture of you, who you are, all the mistakes, all the successes, all the failures, all the achievements, all the negative things about you, all disadvantages, all the failures, and everything together, when you're able to bring everything together, that's where actually self-love is, because self-love is not looking for just positives. No, self-love is all looking for all negatives and positives, because we're blending together. That's when you're able to really grow into the person that you love yourself, no matter what. Number three is unconditional love beyond conditions. This is a beautiful, beautiful saying. Unconditional love. Sometimes we love other people unconditionally, maybe parents, maybe kids. There's unconditional love. No matter what they do, we will be able to love them. And we need to have exactly the same love to ourselves. So it means it doesn't matter what kind of mistakes we do. It doesn't matter what kind of embarrassment we go through. It doesn't matter what kind of things we experienced. We still need to love ourselves. That means we don't need to be 6 foot. We don't need to weigh certain amount. We don't need to have certain achievements. We don't need to have a certain amount of money to love ourselves. So all those external conditions not supposed to be any internal conditions. We're not supposed to have enough courage, enough confidence. No, we are who we are based on how we love ourselves. Now, loving ourselves in the highest level means that you are loving yourself so much that you are not accepting who you are at the moment because you know that you are able to be better. You are created for greatness. This is actually what self-love means, that I love where I am right now, but I know that I could do better. And self-love leads to massive growth. Number 4 is dissolve the fear of separation. I think that we need to understand that we really, again, this is a part of we need to embrace the parts that we do not like and ask them for help. And then we need to learn how to be vulnerable, share the things that we do not like about ourselves, because I think that when you really love yourself, you become less fearful of things. Because you know that no matter what happens around you, you know that you will love yourself. Because love is the key to success. When love creates attitude, love creates the highest level of vibrations, and that highest level of vibrations attracts success. And it means that we're not supposed to really be fearful of saying that this is the part that I don't want to speak about. Sometimes being able to say that this part of me is the most important part of me, because sometimes the part that you want to hide is the part that will make you successful when you actually integrate it. So we're not supposed to fear of separation from other people as well, because a lot of times we hide those things because we don't want to separate from other people, because they will not accept us, will judge us because of that part. But being able to be competitive, being able to be knowledgeable, be able to really challenge status quo, because sometimes being different is very challenging, because you will be separated. You will be separated from other people who do not think like you. Now, every single person has people who think the same way. Sometimes people have less, some people more, but always we have people who think like us. And it's better to be friend to yourself than to enemy to yourself. Because if you try to be friend to everybody, of course, you will be enemy to yourself. That's a beautiful thing. Number 5 is surrender to divine within. This is beautiful, beautiful. I think that a lot of times people are afraid of that surrendering word. I was afraid of that word for a long, long, long time. I was like thinking, I'm a leader. I will never surrender. And the surrender is like almost waving a white flag saying, I'm done. I'm quitting. But the thing that's when you think about surrendering to your faith, to yourself, surrendering is meaning totally different. That means that you're letting go external things. You're letting go those external things that you not have a control over, but you really take control of your own internal. Because when you surrender, you understand that this is it what it is. I accepting my truth. I accepting my presence. I accepting where I am and I'm moving forward based on where I am right now. Because a lot of times when you action not surrendering, it's very, very hard to really take actions and really look where you're at realistically, because sometimes people have a view of the past. Some people look too much in the future, but when you're actually able to surrender, you're able to live in a present moment. Number 6 is living in sacred alignment. Yes, again, this is a beautiful thing. Sacred alignment is such a beautiful saying. What that means that you have your values, clear values, because when you love yourself, you really understand yourself very well. Because you have a tendency to really spend time with yourself. Because you love yourself. You want to spend time with people that love it. And yourself is a person that you love. So you want to spend time with yourself. That means that we're not supposed to spend time always with someone else. Sometimes we need to spend time with ourselves. Understand ourselves. And when we understand ourselves, we know our beliefs and our values. So now we need to make decisions based on those values. And because we spend time with ourselves, we understand ourselves so well, and we know how we make decisions. And those decisions are much, much better because they align with our sacred values. And this is very, very important. And again, this is spirituality, but all the things comes from really understanding who you are, and self-love is helping with that. Number 7 is experience self as love. Such a powerful statement. Experience yourself as love. Love is one of the highest vibrations, as I mentioned before. So that means that when you have that understanding that you are the highest form of love, because I mentioned that when you love yourself, all other loves will get improved significantly. Some people say, oh, I love my kids the most. I could die for them. If you die for them, do you really actually show with your actions that you would die for them? Because a lot of times people say like, oh, I would die for my kids. But if you would die for your kids, so how do you live your life? Would they really inspire by life? Because I truly believe that every single parents have a ability to inspire their kids if they actually love themselves. Parents need to love themselves first. Because I think that kids are able to see the example. If you show example that you put priority as kids, that means, of course, there will be generations after generations when then parents focus on the kids, right on themselves. Because I think that when you really show example that how important it is to love yourself, invest in yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, understand your core values, understand your boundaries, and all those things, and really taking care of yourself, kids will do the same. And I think that that's a big, big, massive shift sometimes people need to make. I need to make that shift. I need to make that shift because I truly believe that I will invest in others and I will invest everything what I get and I will get self-love. But I think that when you really have self-love first, you achieve much more and at the same time you're able to give more to others. Beautiful things. Number 8 is really we need to transform pain into love as well. Transform pain into love. That means that every single person is a little bit broken. A little bit broken. A lot of traumas, brokenness. Like, we need to understand that through life, we're going through experiences, and some experiences are devastating. Devastating. You had some dreams. You really thought that something will come through, but something comes up that destroys the core of you. It's really shakes the balance, shakes the foundation of your life. And when we're able to really have that self-love, we're able to really move that and understand how this devastating experience allowed me to become better, allow me to love myself better, allow to understand myself better, to allow to build my more resilience, allow me to build my character. And that comes from self-love. Being able to look in those devastating experiences and say that those were happening for me. For me. I think that that is a beautiful part when you start looking at every single thing in your life is for you to learn, to improve, get better, get stronger, build resilience. And no matter how devastating it is, when we're able to see silver lining it or really understanding how they benefit us is a beautiful thing. Number 9 is deep presence within yourself. With yourself. I think that this is a beautiful part. We need to understand how be present. Presence is important. Because when you actually love yourself, you're able to be fully present in a moment. You're able to enjoy the flower going by the street, enjoy the moon, the way how the signs, and be able to see the sun in the buildings. You're able to see other people smiling, speaking, chatting, like being able to see what's going around you. Because I know that when I run the business, I run different things. I have some anxiety, I have stress, I have nervousness, I have things to consider. It seems that world around disappears. You're just in some kind of box, a small box that you do not realize how much beautiful things is around you. But self-love allows you to really reconnect with present moment and say, I love myself. And I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy this moment. And I'm looking around myself to say, that, what do I enjoy? What kind of blessings do I see around me? Because when we're in the past, with shame, guilt, all those bit negative, when in the past, even in the future, we have a lot of negative emotions as well a lot of times. But when in the present moment, when you fully present moment, only content and fulfillment can come out of it. Now, lesson number 10, I would love to really mention a little bit, but radiate love outwards. That means that when you actually put so much inwards, I'd love to consider that when you have a cup of love, self-love, and you pour and pour and pour and pour, at some point you have so much love that it starts pouring out. It pours out. And the more you're pouring in your cup, the more it pours out. And when it pours out, it radiates. It gives more people love. So to your faith, to your kids, to your friends, to your neighbors, to everyone around you. So that means when you go outside in present moment, you live your life and you're going to smile to other people and you radiate that love to other people, and people want to be around you because that love is, and people sometimes going around people say like, oh, I just love to be around those people, even though that maybe they don't speak, they don't communicate each other, but it just feels good around other person. I think that that's is where a person has massive self-love and you have the highest vibrations. That person doesn't need to speak as much, don't need to communicate, but their essence, their being radiates love, and that people are attracted to that. And of course, sometimes you know that person don't say anything. They just sit in a seat. You're able to see them, but for some reason you feel not right around them. I think a lot of times it's because they don't feel right about themselves. They hate themselves. They don't like their life. They are in depressed state, and that depressed state radiates as well. So we need to be very, very careful what kind of emotions we radiate. And love is a key. That self-love is the things that we want to radiate. So I hope that you reflect as well, because I said at the beginning that self-love is something that I really want to improve. I want to understand more. I want to get deeper, because this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful topic. And I know that I will share more in the future when I will understand more. But this is where I am right now about self-love. And I'd love to hear from you. What do you feel self-love means? And how you see if a person has self-love? There's such a big topic, and there's so much more to discuss. And I would love to really get some insights. What do you feel is self-love? So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.